That's fine. All I'm saying is we don't believe in that. That don't have nothing to do with us. We don't subscribe to none of that biblical missionary, stuff, rhetoric. We know where we come from. We know where we come from genetically, ancestrally, historically, spiritually, biologically, astrologically, astrobiologically, and extraterrestrial.
How far back can you trace your family?
I can trace my family back to the cosmos. How far back can you trace yours?
How far back can you trace your ancestors? Do you have names of your ancestors going back how far? Well, I can trace my family back to the 1400s in Spain. Okay, and I have their names.
Can I tell you why that's a trick question?
Yes.
Y'all took our language. So how you gonna ask me to find somebody and I don't even know what the fuck my name was?
You just said you could trace yourselves back to the cosmos. You can't even trace yourselves back before the slave trade.
Now, let me correct you again because you're trying to sound so smart. You're revealing that you're silly. Now, you can trace yourself back to the cosmos genetically and biologically. I don't need a name to do that. When you said define my family, I need a name to do that. So white people who are just like you, who think that they're smart, during slavery, switched our language and switched our names, so we never be able to find our relatives. So as far as
Africa doesn't even have written language in a lot of it. What are you talking about?
Don't cut me off until I'm done speaking.
No, let him finish. Go.
So as far as language go and linguistics go, I may not be able to fully associate myself with who I come from because I'm not an Englishman, even though I speak English. And I doubt that white people are going to tell us what our real language was because there's some power in there. So I doubt that I can ask a white person, hey, could you do me a favor and tell me what the language was I was speaking before slavery? You probably burnt the fucking records or something. So that being said, that's a trick question. But when we're talking about genetics, I can tell you where you don't come from. You don't have melanin. You don't have the mitochondrial E gene. You cannot process the frequency of the sun. You do not have carbon-12. So I can trace not only my biological humanoid family, I can trace myself to a plant. Melanin and chlorophyll is the same chemical composition. The only difference between a plant and a black person is we have iron in our blood and plants have magnesium. And if we were to switch them chemicals, we would turn green and plants would turn black. So with that being said, now if you want to talk about genetics and biology, I can show you exactly where the fuck I came from. But if you just want to talk about what's written on the sheet of paper, white people, y'all did a pretty good job at hiding that. So I just want you to be very accurate on your questions and be sincere and not be sneerful when you ask questions.
Culture war, go ahead.